let's keep diving deeper and deeper into the 2021 season. For our next segment, it is the most memorable moments.
Oh
and this is where we're talking about Mark Cavendish, because all of Mark Cavendish's finishes.
And you
were,
know I
were
love talking about Mark Cavendish.
For different reasons. I think, I'm a Cavendish fan. Well, one of my best, well, I'll go off on a tangent. One of my best memories, actually, as my time as a bike racer, I was in the Tour of California, and Mark Cavendish and I were both intent on getting in the breakaway on stage 4. It was this awful, really lovely ride on Highway 1 from, I don't know, somewhere in California to Laguna Seca. You're just on the coastal highway for 200K. We both, circled our race as a chance for the breakaway. and I followed Cavendish.
That's where the similarities end, right?
That's where yes. I think I was a decent sprinter in America, but I was trying to follow Cavendish into the breakaway, and he was essentially just, 10K into a race, fresh as a daisy, sprinting up the road, and me on my Jelly Belly bike just dying, trying to stay in this tiny little draft. And I just remember 3 times in a row he'd look back to see if people followed him, and there was just a 3-foot gap to me, and he'd kind of ease up, take an easy pedal stroke, let me get into slipstream, and then start sprinting again. I don't know, and then I chatted with him later in the race. I'm a Cavendish fan, and it was a really nice memory for me in my bike racing time. So, with that backstory, I do like Cav, seeing him come back in the Tour de France, and when, they were all just so spectacular, but probably that first stage win after, one of the biggest droughts, and, going from just absolute hero to 0 and then back to hero again. So, we have to figure out, I can remember, I'm not going to say which stage it was, because obviously he won 4 stage wins, but at one of the Finnish towns there was a plaque commemorating Cavendish because he had won a stage there before, and they had his previous stage win tally, and he crossed that tally out with a Sharpie and edited it. I just loved that. I thought that was so cool.
Yeah, I mean, it was in Carcassonne where he did get the 35th win, tying the great Eddie Merckx. What would have been, had the Kunik Quick-Step not shut down that one day where we had the escape. I think it was maybe Morhich that went on to win the stage. Maybe that was the stage he did the zipper thing. What would have been had, the Kunik Quick-Step had the power to shut it down, and everybody was on their hands and knees at that point in the Tour de France. What would have been, had Cavendish been able to pull out that sprint on the Champs-Élysées and not Wout van Aert. But here we are at 35, and that's in our prediction segment, whether or not Mark will ever get 36.
But also on the note of the Tour, of course, the way it opened with the sign. I'm just going to say the sign lady. I mean, wow.
That was one of the most memorable moments in sports.
In sports, absolutely.
Of the year. Omiopi. Omiopi, the cardboard sign.
And I believe she walked away with a 10,000 euro fine and
no 1,200 euros.
Oh, only 1,200. Okay.
And honestly, there was a manhunt for this lady, and
she went into hiding.
Flee the country. And we were talking about this yesterday. Only 1,200 euros. I think that's fine. She made a stupid mistake. Obviously, was terrified about the ramifications of this mistake. It can be between her and Tony Martin if that punishment is not just, but I think that, we want people to go out to bike races and have fun and, enjoy the roadside atmosphere, but we also want people to learn from Omiopi, cardboard sign.
Keep your signs off the road.
And your phones and your body parts. Honestly, just sit on the hillside. There's wheels of cheese all along the Tour de France. Go have a picnic and watch the bike race. You don't need to put yourself in the bike race. That's just me. Did we miss anything else?
Sepp Kuss.
Sepp Kuss. Another American shout out. Sepp Kuss winning the Tour de France stage to his home away from hometown, Andorra. That was pretty spectacular.
Andorra la Veja. That was Sepp, who we kind of thought maybe Sepp was off, it was a bottle of wine you opened up and that cork just didn't smell right, or because 2020 he looked sharp, he was always there for primos. 2021
confidence a little shaky.
Yeah, and in fact after the stage win he even said that this is giving me back some confidence because he was a little bit concerned himself, but he handled Valverde, who was on the chase at final, nasty, nasty climb before they drop back down into Andorra. And Sepp Kuss, I mean, that's massive. A stage win in the Tour de France, it's a career maker, and this is the guy that's going to be there again and again and again for Primož Roglič, but he gets something for himself, and the team allows Sepp to go off and get that when they're riding for Vingegaard in the overall after Primož Roglič had already gone home. So chapeau Sepp, that's a good one to see after, you know, the Vuelta España stage win. He gets one in the Tour de France. That's special for Sepp Kuss.